Welcome to Galactic Review. While conducting routine scans in the PlayStation sector, we've located a game called Bloody Roar. We've taken some time to study this anomaly. Bloody Roar was developed by Hudson Soft, famous for their bee mascot, and it was released on the PlayStation in 1997. It was originally released as an arcade machine under the title of Beasterizer, which sounds like some kind of a spicy meat tenderizing product. It's a classic arcade-style 3D fighting game featuring characters that can transform into anthropomorphic beasts. So it's basically Furries, the fighting game. The Japanese cover of this game has this whole gothic look to it. I'm not saying they ripped this off from Bram Stoker's Dracula, but they kinda totally ripped this off from Bram Stoker's Dracula. The game's story explains that some people are born with zoanthrope blood, meaning they have the ability to transform into a werebeast of some kind. Naturally, there is an evil corporation, known as Tylon, who wants to experiment on these people and turn them into living weapons, as evil corporations tend to do. Each character has their own personal bit of backstory, but all these stories share the common thread of an involvement with the Tylon Corporation in one way or another. The gameplay itself is very reminiscent of other 3D fighting games from this era, such as Tekken or Virtua Fighter, but this game has the added gimmick of being able to turn into a beast during a fight. The game has a relatively simple control scheme. Square and X are your punch and kick buttons respectively, circle is the button to transform you into a beast, and triangle is only used to activate Rave mode when you're in beast form. You can activate beast mode when your beast gauge fills, and this happens when you receive and inflict damage. In beast form, your character gains access to new attacks via the circle button. It also changes the weight and jumping ability of your character, as well as allowing you some potential health recovery. The beast gauge decreases when you take damage, and you'll change back into human form when it is depleted, and you are struck with an effective attack. While in beast form, you can activate Rave mode, which drains your beast gauge, but it greatly increases your character's ability and speed. You can also dash by double tapping the directional buttons, and R1 can be used as a dash cancel or to cancel quick forward moves. There is a guard system that allows you to guard against various types of attacks, and it takes some getting used to this system before you can use it effectively. You can also perform a throw by pressing square and X together, and there are different types of throws depending on your character's positions. There are 8 different characters you can choose from, each with their own unique fursona, which is what furries call the persona of an anthropomorphic animal character, and why do I know so much about furries? To make this all even more complicated, one of the characters is basically a trap. His name is Fox, and he hates all things ugly and strives for beauty, and I also heard that he is referred to as a female in the European instruction manual, so yeah, Fox is a furry trap. And on top of that, we have a character that might be considered a reverse trap. I definitely mistook Mitsuko for a male when I first saw her, but nope, she's a female and the aunt of Alice, who happens to be the cutest character in the game.
Waifu?
This game was destined to end up on Rule 34. And that's not a complaint, just an observation. Oh god, this has gone too far. I may have gone too far in a few places. Let's get back to the gameplay. Naturally, there is a traditional arcade mode which pits you against each fighter in the game, including a standard mirror match. After you defeat all of them, you come to the big bad boss character, a little girl named Uriko. But actually, Uriko was experimented on by the Tylon Corporation, and she is able to transform into a terrifying were-chimera. She also happens to be the kidnapped daughter of Mitsuko. After you defeat Uriko and her were-chimera form, you'll get an ending scene for your selected character. Aside from the standard arcade mode, there is also a time attack mode where you compete for the quickest finish time, and a survival mode where your health isn't restored between matches. Naturally, there is a 2-player versus mode as well, which plays exactly as you would expect. There's also a practice mode, which is always helpful for learning the character's moves. The characters each have their own unique move list and combos. You can take some time to learn your favorite character's moves and get used to using the combos, like most other fighting games. You can also get pretty far on just button mashing in this game too. Since there are so few attack buttons, it's pretty easy to just press different combinations of buttons at random and fight fairly effectively. This makes it easy for new players to jump right in and start having fun with the game, which is an ideal attribute for this game's original arcade cabinet iteration. The arenas in this game are nice. Each has a distinct setting and some nice textures. I like the Under Highway stage. It's like a cool futuristic highway set right in the middle of the city. The walls around the arenas can also be destroyed, allowing for the possibility of ring-outs, which helps keep the fights interesting. This game offers a lot of extra options too, which I really appreciate. One of these options is a cool autosave feature, which doesn't seem that impressive today, but back then autosave wasn't a common feature of most games. This game also lets you set up matches with 2 AI competitors, so you can just sit back and yiff while you watch the computer fight. Bloody Roar is a fun fighting game for the PlayStation that plays pretty well, with an impressive frame rate to boot. It's easy to pick up and play and get into the ferocious fighting action, and it's twice as fun with a friend. The Beast gimmick works well for this game and saves it from becoming a completely forgettable late 90s 3D fighter. Plus, there is enough depth to this game to keep you interested for a little while at least. If you're not scared off by the whole furry thing, then this game is definitely worth a try. Well, that's all for this Galactic review. Thanks for joining me, everyone, and if you liked the video, please go ahead and let me know down below. And if you want to continue to explore the galaxy of media with me, please go ahead and subscribe. Captain Shinobi signing out.